Does an LLC need bylaws? Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Green. I'm one of the senior tax advisors at Robert Hall & Associates, and today we are discussing LLCs and bylaws. We're going to get into what is a bylaw, does your LLC need it? I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. The answer is yes, but it's not a big deal. It's super easy to make. Don't freak out. And then we'll also talk about how do we make it, what's in it, and really, why does Nicole say it's not that big of a deal? Okay, so before we get into it, please make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos that we have upcoming, and you can look through all our other great videos. Does your LLC need bylaws? You just created your LLC. Does it need bylaws? The answer is yes, as I said earlier. It needs for you to define how it operates. Now, there's two ways for you to really think about it and why I say don't stress out. One, how many people are owners inside this LLC? The more owners you have, the more partners that you have inside the LLC will give you a little more increase of stress and a little bit more that needs to go into the bylaws. If you own the LLC by yourself, some of the things are moot, because it's you talking to you. For example, like, do you need to have meetings to talk about the LLC? How many meetings do you have to have? If I own the LLC, I'm meeting with myself. Hi, me. Did you see what we did? We made profit. Great job, me. Like, the meetings are unimportant. Like, a lot of people hear, oh my God, I need to have minutes. I have this company and this company needs to have minutes. Minutes is a documentation of the meeting. Again, hi, me. It was great talking to you, me. Like, we met on every day of my life since I've been breathing. Like, those things are totally moot if you are the owner, the sole owner of your LLC. If there's other owners and you are a partner, there will be more intensity and more descriptions that you need inside the bylaws. The bylaws is just going to be a legal document that defines how the LLC currently works. These bylaws are free to be updated and amended at any time that you set on how they can be amended and updated. All right, let's talk about what do we need inside the bylaws. So how can we create these bylaws? We need to know what's needed in them. First of all, creating bylaws, super easy. There are plenty of free templates and companies that assist people with creating bylaws. Again, your LLC is just you. Do I think you should go out and hire a company? I mean, it really depends what you're going to do with your LLC and what's inside the LLC, but maybe not. And again, you can always update your LLC as you grow. So what's inside the bylaws? What is necessary and required for your bylaws? One, obviously, we need the most basic information. What's the company? What's the company's address? Like, all the nuts and bolts of who is inside this company, meaning like who owns the company, what's their complete names, address, and then also, what do these people do? So we need the basic information about the company, the location, the business, who owns it, basic information about the owners, and then also what's the owner's responsibilities? What is each person required to do? And again, if you're the owner, that you're the sole owner, that can simply be, I'm required to do everything. Yay! Like, if there's somebody that's a passive owner, that needs to be stated in the bylaws. And the reason you want to make sure that it's clearly stated is so that if things grow and things happen, your expectations could change about this person, and your expectations of them could change. And if things go awry, you want to make sure that you've clearly defined what this person was allowed and thought to be able to do. And if that they want to change those things, the bylaws will state that. So who is the owners of the company and what are they required to do? What are their responsibilities? And also, how is this LLC managed? Who is able to change it and how they need to go about changing it. And so when we're talking about the managing member, that's going to be the person that's generally in charge. Like, they sign the return of it. It doesn't mean they have full control. They are just the person that manages it. They make sure it is their responsibility to make sure a tax return gets done. It is their responsibility to make sure an annual report gets done. Doesn't mean that they're the ones that do it. Again, they just manage it. Also, as we spoke earlier about the vote, who can make changes to the company? If you wanted to dissolve the LLC, how many people need to be a part of that decision? Who has the voting rights to make this happen? Who does not have the voting rights? How many votes do you need? It's always going to be at least half if you want to dissolve, just FYI. But maybe some people have more voting rights than other people. Maybe there's different classes of ownership that you have, which is very, very common. There can be some people that have ownership that have no voting rights. They don't get to decide the main things, but they still get all the profits, and they still have some liability. Also, let's talk about liability and profit and loss allocations. You are able to define how you please the ownership of your LLC and the ownership of the liability. And people get really, really creative, which is really, really nice. It gives people a lot of flexibility on how they want to see their company ran and how they want to see what's happening. And that means you need to define what that profit and the loss allocation look like. Who holds all the liability? Are you exempt from certain bits of liability? That might be the case, or maybe everybody has the same. It's going to be a 50-50 split, or 25-25 split, and everybody gets the same amount of profit and gets the same amount of loss, and also has the same amount of liability. Totally fine. You can make it as complicated or as simple as you choose. It just needs to be stated. And if you want to change it, no problem. You can change it. But inside the bylaws, what's required for making the changes? What's required for dissolving the company? Any changes or amendments or updates needs to be stated up. The process it needs to go through. Is there a 60-day waiting period, or is it a 180-day waiting period? Must there be 3 members in addition to the 51%? Like, you have to decide, because maybe one member has 40%. So can you and another member make the decision to dissolve the company, or must it be 3 members and a 51% majority? You get to have some fun with this and make it as simple and complicated as you want. If somebody wanted to leave the company, if somebody wanted to leave your LLC, how do they get out? That is very, very important. What are the rules for selling and transferring the ownership interest? And really importantly, does anybody have first right of refusal? Because if you have a partnership and you have this LLC, if you have an LLC with 3 people and it's going amazing, or better yet, let's give the example. If you have an LLC with 3 people, it's been going absolutely amazing. Then one person passes away. One person just doesn't want to be a part of the company anymore. And they go out and find somebody else that the 2 of you don't know, that wants to buy this company. And they found somebody that wants to pay them a small fortune for this company. You and your other partner want to buy it so that you guys own it genuinely by yourself. But of course, person number 3 is like, I'd rather have this person on the side buy, because they're going to pay me more money than you and the other partner can. Now, what do we do? The person that's selling it should be able to sell it to the highest bidder, right? But why do you now have to have a partner that you don't like or don't even know. You should get to choose who you want to be in business with without having to leave your own company, right? Both of those are valid thought processes. So where does it rank? Who is first? That's what needs to be stated in the bylaws. And that one's a big one, and that needs to be stated in the beginning. How can people leave if they choose to leave? How do you dissolve the company, and how do you make changes? These are really, really important things that need to be inside it. Again, let me reiterate the 9 main things that need to be inside it. All of these things should be detailed and clear, but only as complicated as you want. Detail does not mean complexity, but it needs to be clear and detailed. The 9 things are the basic information of the company, like the name, the address, what does the company do? The ownership structure, who owns the company, how is this structured, the management and voting rights of the company, who gets to vote, who's going to be in charge of managing the company, who's responsible for this, the allocation of liability, the allocation of profit, and the allocation of loss as number 4. The duties and responsibility for each of the owners of the company. Is somebody passive? Is somebody active? Does somebody have additional responsibility that another person doesn't have? How can people leave? If somebody wants to sell, if somebody wants to transfer, how does this happen? What do I need to do if I want to dispute something? Something happens inside my company and I don't like it. What is the issues of resolving said disputes, internal disputes between you and the partner, you and your other partners? Do we need to have a meeting? Do we need to have votes? What needs to happen? Number 8. How do we dissolve the company? Who can dissolve the company? What is important in the dissolution of the company beyond the state stuff, right? There's going to be the legal stuff and there's going to be the stuff that you and your partners want to have. Keep in mind, the stuff that you and your partners want to have can be in addition to the legal stuff, but it can't be less than the legal stuff. The legal stuff is going to be the bare minimum. And the last thing, how do we change this set of bylaws? How do we amend it? How do we add to it? Make those 9 things super clear and super detailed. If it is you that is the owner, it can be really, really general because it's you that gets to make it. Are you going to take you and you to court? No, you're not going to take you and you to court. But your bylaws is a legal document that clearly defines how you and your partners have agreed to operate, how you and your partners have set out an agreement about this is what's going to happen in the company. And as the company grows and as the company changes, so should your bylaws. And so if the company is, doing real estate and it's buying properties, great, amazing. We created the bylaws for it to be a rental situation and own properties. Then you guys pivot and now start buying properties and managing not only your own properties, but managing other people's properties. Great, amazing. Add a simple amendment into your bylaws that talks about the management portion because there's additional responsibilities now. Maybe those responsibilities will fall all on one person, or maybe those responsibilities will fall to everybody equally. Just define it, make it really clear. Adding an amendment to it is a very simple process, and it can cost you nothing. You can go really complicated and go ahead and pay some attorneys and everything, but really it doesn't need to cost you a lot to do things. All right, guys, I am done. We talked about bylaws. I hope you understand that bylaws are not crazy. It's not super, super, super complicated. You do need to take a minute. You do need to think about how this company is and what it's going to be, but you don't need to overthink it because the bylaws can grow as the company grows as well. My name is Nicole. I'm one of the senior tax advisors at Robert Hall & Associates. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us on our website, roberthalltaxes.com. You can sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. We'd love to talk about anything that you have related to tax. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.